Let's go.
So, what's the question of the day?
Got a good one. So, Corey, I want to know what it was like. I mean, obviously, I just went from high school straight into direct sales, but you went to college and actually got a corporate job and then got into sales and now are doing online work. So you've seen literally all of it. So tell me like a little bit about what it was like first, going from college to corporate 9 to 5, and then breaking out of that into a physical door-to-door job, and then breaking out of that into the location independence with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I talk a little bit about this in my video on like why I moved to Latin America. So I go deeper into the story there, but it is kind of a juxtaposition of like each segment that I went in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got out of college, went straight into the 9 to 5 world, immediately knew that like something was wrong because I was like, okay, I'm just like waking up, doing the same exact thing, eating the same exact food. Like, I feel like my dog waiting for his kind of dog food. And that's not even, I'm not saying that in a demeaning way. It's just for me personally, like it felt off. And so I was like, I have to find a way to make money. I know I'm good at sales. I've always been good at sales. I've always talked to people. I've always been good at teaching people, guiding people. How can I use that to my advantage? And I was like, okay, like in the business world, that's going to be a sales role, right? So I was like, how can I get a sales role? It's funny I'm talking to you about this because I went to a wedding, one of the weddings that they actually let me go to, asking off, right? Corporate world, you got to ask off, and sometimes they say no, but I went to a wedding of a fraternity brother, and my buddy Izzy, shout out Izzy for watching this, he was like, hey man, like how's everything going? How's work? Like you doing good? You happy? And I'm like, yeah man, like it's good. I couldn't really complain because they would fly me out. It was a consulting gig. I was flying. I went to DC. I saw Auburn's basketball stadium. Like I was doing all this cool stuff. I've been to California, and I was consulting. Mm-hmm. But I was still like, my income was still capped, and I knew with sales my income wouldn't be capped. Obviously, money. Everyone wants money. That's a big part of why anyone does any job, right? So I knew that that was an aspect of sales I liked, but I also knew that with a sales role, like I would just be in more control. That was what it was more than just money. It was the control aspect. I was like, okay, I'll be able to be in control over my income so I can choose how hard I work. And I've already built a house painting business. I've already built a watch e-com business. Like I know how hard I can work. So I think I'd fly in a sales role.
Yeah.
So I was like telling Izzy this, and he was like, yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, I have a buddy, like, doing a sales role in California. He's, like, selling solar. And I thought he was just making conversation, honestly. I was like, yeah, man, like, that's cool. Yeah, like, one of those roles, right. And he was just like, yeah. Let me call him. I was like, okay. And it's actually, you were busy. You were at, like, a bonfire.
It was Thanksgiving.
No, it wasn't Thanksgiving. It was in the...
Are you sure?
Because I came out in like May, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, yeah. I remember being in.
You were at a bonfire. You were in Kansas City, like at the lake or something.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so you were like, let's chat tomorrow. So we were at the wedding. We had a good time, and then the next day, he's from Topeka because your buddy's with him.
Yeah.
Right. So he just hung at my house. Like him and his girl were just at my house. We were exploring. We actually had a really fun adventure that day. I'll tell you after camp. Yeah. It was really fun. We were messing around. We had mimosas in the morning, and that took us the rest of the day. But yeah, so I remember we called you, and Izzy was like, hey, man, here's the intro, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, a week and a half later, I quit my job. I packed all my shit into my car, and I drove my ass out to California 24 hours. Not straight, 18 hours straight. Stopped with some family in Scottsdale, Arizona, and then went to L.A. A week and a half later.
So it was the contact, it was a relationship that you had, and you already knew that something was wrong, and because you got to travel, you wanted to travel, you got that, which was nice, but like you said, you didn't have the time or the money independence. Like
I didn't have the time independence. I didn't have any independence really, because the three aspects are financial independence, time independence, and location independence. Mm-hmm. And even though I was able to fly, I could only fly where they told me. So I didn't have location independence. I had to clock in and go where they told me, when they told me. So I didn't have time independence, and I didn't have money independence because I wasn't in charge.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any of it. When I started selling solar, I knew I was going to be good at it because I had already knocked doors for my house painting business that I ran. And when I started selling solar, I gained that time freedom. So I was like right off the bat. Like it was crazy to me. I remember we woke up, and in the middle of the day, in the middle of when we were supposed to be working, when I've been told to work, we were going to frickin' Safeway shopping or like, you know, we went to the shooting range one day, me and Emerson. Like it was a concept that I didn't even understand because I had been trained and groomed for this, like, wake up at 9, work until 5 kind of life.
Hell, even in college, right? Like, it's you show up, you go to class.
You go to class. I mean, you have a little bit of. I actually went to. I think I only missed like 3 classes.
There we go.
That's actually not a lie. Any of my friends will tell you that. Side note, because I equated good grades to going to class. I was like, if I go to class every time and then just pull an all-nighter the night before a test, I'll at least get a B. It was a formula I figured out.
Yeah, I mean, if you just show up, it's about half the grade, right?
Anyway, so I started selling in California, and that's when I started to develop my sales skills, and I had that time freedom, and then I started getting the money freedom.
Yep.
I think it was I think the first month I got going, I made like $1,000 in, what were they called, M2s, deposits?
M1s, yeah, like
M1s.
the initial ones, yeah.
And then the second month, I think I made like a couple grand and like stacked up. And then the third month, all my deals got installed at the same time. So I made like, I think like 21 grand in 1 month into my bank account. I couldn't believe it. I was looking at my phone. I was like, this isn't real. The numbers on my screen have just changed and shifted.
Yeah.
Right. And if you average that out, like that's still good money, like 5K over 3 months. But just to get all of that, like just happened to be in 1 month, that changed my perspective on how money could be made. And so I had the time freedom, and I had the money freedom, financial freedom. And so I didn't still have the location freedom because I had to be in California. I was licensed in California, knocking doors in order to make money. That's where I had to be. I could take off and I could travel and I could have that location freedom, but I couldn't really run my business.
Couldn't make money.
Couldn't make money. I could like maybe do a follow-up and a virtual sale, but it's like that's not where my business is. It's an in-person business. So I was like, there's still one like Thanos ring left to collect in order to really have the freedom that I want. And so it was actually a really hard decision because New Year's came along. I was like, New Year's resolution, what do I want to do this year? What do I want to accomplish? And I had to weigh in my mind. I was like, I literally asked myself this question. Would I rather stay here and make realistically probably $200,000 to $300,000 next year doing what I'm doing? Would I rather do that, which is what I estimated I could do? Or would I rather start over, find a way to make online money, and get that last Thanos ring with the skills that I have now developed and the skill set that I have from solar and everything else in my life? And when I was honest with myself, I chose the latter. I don't know why. That's just the way that my brain went, my body went. Like, that's just the way that life took me. I don't know why I chose that. I could have chose the former, stacked a bag, started a business that way, and went at it that route. But I was like, no. If I'm gonna end up having an online business anyway, why would I not just do it sooner rather than later and establish that foundation?
It's opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's still opportunity cost with, not earning the money that I would have made. But I was like,
I mean, would you rather have paid that $300,000 to learn all these skills on how to gain location independence? Like you said, it was the last ring. It was the last thing you needed.
Right.
You probably would have paid $200,000-$300,000 to gain that skill for the rest of your life.
Exactly. And like that's how it weighed in my mind. I remember like the conversation we had when we were skiing or when we were snowboarding in what was it, Big Bear in LA. And I felt really bad to tell you this because I was like, man, this guy counted on me. He brought me out here. He took me to sales training, Grant Cardone training in Miami. We had a good time. This is just like, I felt like I was breaking up with my girlfriend or like, you have that anxiety about quitting. I felt the same way when I quit my corporate job, kind of. Yeah. Because I didn't just like drop everything. It was like, peace, I'm out. Like, I was like, listen, this is the decision I've made. Like, I had to go through the process. But yeah, I was like, this is just this is just where my life is taking me, man. Like, I'm sorry, genuinely.
You did break my heart, but no, dude. I mean, I was so excited to see you go after something that you knew you wanted, right? Because I mean, it even made me reflect on like, damn, he's right. I don't have location independence. If I wanted to go travel, I'm going to stop making money.
Yeah.
Unless, like you said, I'm on the phones begging it out or getting referrals. Like, you're not going to make money if you have to put your feet on the ground and go knock a door, right? And so that's a great leap that you took. That made me learn a lot.
Well, I appreciate that because I love giving people perspective. But I'm not even saying I made the right decision or anything. Like, for me, it was the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
But for anyone else, like for other people, it might be staying in the corporate job. I'm just saying, for me, like, that's what I needed to survive. Like, that's what I wanted. That's what I craved. And I just went and got it. And it sucked at first because I was making minimal money. I was like in the online space. How do I get started? Do I continue doing like a little bit of affiliate marketing? Do I go back and restart my watch business, repick that up? But I ended up leveraging my sales skills, getting an appointment setter gig online, which is just in the DMs, mm-hmm. Of a very well-known influencer that everyone would know, but that I won't name here. And I was just in the DMs, just taking leads. I was messaging. It was text sales. Mm-hmm. Text sales via DM. I was selling, and I had my leads list. I had my pipeline, and it was crazy.
So you'd finally gotten the time freedom, which was the first one you were looking for. You got the money freedom, and then you finally had the location freedom. And now people look at you, and they're like, damn, Corey's living a pretty cool life with all the experiences that you gained traveling and being able to make money and make all these relationships. So, I mean, what would you say to somebody who might be in a corporate job, or maybe they're just getting out of high school, maybe they're still in high school or in college, or maybe they're even in a direct sales position in door-to-door, and somebody who wants to go down the route you are going? How do they break into that space?
Yeah. Well, the first important thing to note is I'm talking to people who want to do it but don't know
exactly,
how, right?
Because you said it was the right decision for you. So
right.
Let's say we are talking to somebody who this is the right decision
exactly.
for.
Okay.
How does that person break into that?
Yeah, dude, it's the scariest thing, but you just got to do it. It's cliche advice, but like, I don't know, jumping off the cliff into the water is scary until you do it, and you're like, that was so much fun. And then, like it takes balls to put all your shit in your trunk of your car, quit your job, and move to California. That job that you worked so hard for college to give you so much security, and I was living at home with my parents at the time to not to save money, but I love my family, just a little bit of everything after college, like in my hometown. There's so much security that I just had to give up, and it wasn't like easy, but then again it was, because I knew that I needed to do it. So it's like, if I know I need to do it, why am I fighting myself on it? It was uncomfortable, for sure. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, if you don't know what direction to go and that's your reason, obviously that's a good reason, because you have to know where you're going, what you're going to be doing. You can't just quit and then say, okay, like what now, right? Yeah. That's not a good chess move. But I had a plan. I had a job lined up. I worked my way through that. And I got myself to that point. So the first thing that I would be thinking about is, how can you make money online? Like, research. What do you need to do to leverage in order to make money online? How can you appear more professional online so that you can make the kind of money that you're making, right? There's a million ways to look at it, but that's the first thing you should be thinking of. Once you have that in your mind, then you just got to make that jump. And you got to say, listen, I'm only going to be in the position I'm at right now, like right now. Mm-hmm. Like every year that passes, every day that passes, there's an opportunity cost of not making that jump and not living the life. Imagine if you're just like, yeah, I want to do that, but I'll do it next year. I'll do it next year. Dude, life goes by fast. I feel like I'm old balls, man. Like, I know I'm a couple years older than you, but like I feel like I've lived 1,000 lives already because I made that jump. I can't even imagine what it would be to sit here and feel like I'm living the exact same life that I was living at 22. Like, there's so much wasted, like, I would just feel uncomfortable. I'd feel, and that's not how we were designed to live. We were designed to go hunt, go kill, go explore, go figure out life. And now we're just like, here's your task, complete your task, get your money, and then it's just do it over again. And you got to make that jump if that's what you want to do, even though it's going to be uncomfortable, for the sake of living your life for yourself, for your bloodline, for your future family, and and whoever is going to be along with you.
Dude, I love that. That's a good answer.
Yeah. That's it. That's the difference, man. It's crazy.
Dude, well, thank you for sharing your wisdom.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people personally who are scared to take that leap. And I think one thing that I witnessed you do is it didn't just fall in your lap, right? Like these opportunities didn't just fall in your lap, whether it was connecting with me or connecting with the people who got you into the Wi-Fi money. It's as easy, like you said, how do I make money online? Just doing that simple task, or paying to get in the room. Like, pay to get in these groups, pay to get in the room where people can, give you these opportunities and get you connected with the right person. And I watched you do that. You paid you paid your way, literally, into finding how to attain this lifestyle that you wanted.
I did pay my way into a couple of scenarios. It's important to invest in yourself. Mm-hmm. You can't be scared of that. I know so many people that are scared of that. I talk to people every day that are scared of that in sales. You can't be scared of that. But it's also how you present yourself. And it's what perception do people have of you? Because I could have had that same exact conversation with Izzy, but if I wasn't a professional person, if he didn't respect me, if he didn't like me for whatever reason, if he thought I was, unkept, if he thought I was disorganized, why would he refer me to you, his friend?
Yeah.
Because that would just be a liability for you. So it's about how you present yourself, how you walk through life, how people understand who you are. And I think it's really important to mention, if someone doesn't know you, the only glimpse that they have of who you are is what they see on social media. And so let's say there's business opportunities out there, but there's a barrier in between because they don't know you. They know your profile, but they don't know Jake, right? Then the profile is the barrier between them seeing into your life and seeing that you could fill a void that they have and provide value. So that's why I emphasize Instagram development and aesthetic and professionalism so much, on my profile, because I'm listen, if you know how to present yourself aesthetically, if you know how to look like you know what you're doing, if you know how to look professional, then people will notice that. And they'll say, hey, what does this guy do? I want to network with this guy. I want to talk to this guy. What's up with that? Oh, Jake, what do you do? Oh, yeah, I'm in 9 to 5. I'm a consultant for a medical software company. Really, I'm looking to get into a sales role, but I'm just exploring. And that opens up the conversation. Maybe they need to hire a salesperson.
Yep.
And because you developed your aesthetic, your presentation, your professional profile, your resume, your contact card, that opens up the door. That's what I try to communicate to the people on my profile that try to look in the link in my bio and go to my course and go through all that. That's what I explain, is that you can leverage that. And so I think that's a really important point on what you were saying about leveraging those opportunities.
Totally. Yeah, it's first you did it with the people that you knew, because before you were, you had this aesthetic on Instagram and you presented yourself in a certain light. You just did that in the real world and utilized your in-person connections. And now that, like you said, to get that last Thanos ring, you have to do it online for people who don't know you. So you're almost fighting a losing battle here. So you have to be super on top of it and really excel in creating and curating the portrait that you portray on your social media and on your Instagram.
Exactly.
And that's how you've been able to break into that.
Yeah, exactly. And people who, are online a lot and have online businesses, they're going to be looking for that. So why would you can leverage your in-person network as well. If you don't have one, where are all these millionaires? If they're not in your personal network that you know, right? Where are these millionaires? Where are these business owners? Where are the opportunities? Are they in your city? Do you have to go to the top restaurants and just post a sign outside saying, I'm looking for a sales role? Or can you just present yourself good online and maybe reach out to a couple of people, get your face out there, and leverage the network that you can create with your profile online, even though you're not even there. You're in a different city, but you've it's a crazy tool that we get to leverage, man. I could talk about this for days.
It's free.
That's great. Anyway, for anyone looking to do that, the link is in my Instagram bio. I'll post it on the bottom of the YouTube as well. But that's not the point of this video. It's been crazy, man. It's been a wild ride, and I'm just looking forward to amplifying everything that I've done in my life times a million with every single bit of knowledge that I'm able to formulate into, real world production.
Oh, I'm excited to see where the journey takes you, man.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate it. That was
Likewise.
the best staff of
That
the
was crisp.
century.
That was crisp. All right, man.